There we go. My last video, which was also a part of the White Lives Matter series, I was going through a lot emotionally in a very negative way. I know that you'd be able to tell, but that was before the Resistance from Day One protest, which was later on that day, and the Women's March, which was the next morning, and this is the day after that. First of all, happy Sunday to everyone. For some of you, this starts a new week, and for me, this is the end of last week. My week starts on Monday. A lot of us are very scared, and there was one particular person that had a sign at the Women's March protest that just said, "I'm scared." And I initially walked past that sign, and I looked her in the face, but kept going, and I turned around and I saw a lot of other people just keep going and not say anything to her, and I just wouldn't have been able to forgive myself if I had not turned around and said something to her about that sign. And that sign represents how we all feel at this time. I mean, for all our hooping, hollering, and all that, like, we're scared. This is like, a lot of bad things have happened to us as a country, but this is really fucking bad, because this is supposed to be our commander-in-chief for the next 4 years, given nothing happens and everything goes normally, of course, which is always life, you know. But that sign really punctured me, like, and it wasn't like, you know, it was cardboard with like messy marker, and the person holding that sign looked nothing short of terrified while she was holding it. And I can't accept these people that are willing to yell, bigots need to be educated and they need love, and no, they don't. These people, I mean, it's one thing when they have their children out there, which is poisoning our future. They're poisoning our society with these toxic, hateful signs. They're spreading their message on an international level, and they're just poisoning the world, and I'm not going to be understanding. I'm not going to try to educate them. They've already gone through many points in their lives up until this point to have the chance to be educated, and they refused every single opportunity that they've had to expand their minds, their consciousness, their sense of spirit, and they still hold these anti-queer, anti-women signs. A lot of the black protesters that I see have signs about slavery. I don't even know what that's about, because they also have anti-queer, anti-women signs, when last time I checked, black people were also queer and women. So, no, I'm not going to be peaceful. I'm not going to educate them or try to educate them, because their parents should have done that. Before they got to this point in their lives, whoever their guardian was and the people around them should have taught them how to respect other people and care about other people. That's not my job. I'm not accepting bigotry and hatred. Being complacent and saying these people need love and care and acceptance and education, that's what's gotten us to Trump being president. So fuck that complacent shit. Hell yeah, I'm glad they set that limo on fire. I don't know who did it, I don't know why they did it, but I'm glad they did it, because if a fucking rapist gets to ride in that limo that I paid for with my taxpayer dollars, I'd have been there to burn that shit down too. So fuck them. And some places let these protesters be so bold. I'm talking about the antagonistic ones, the anti-queer, anti-women ones now, as to let them into the festivities. Now, in many places that I've been, the protesters are not allowed into the festivities. They are allowed on the march route of whatever's going on, and they're allowed outside the festivities, but they're not allowed inside the festivities. The only other place that I've been besides here that allows protesters inside the festivities is Philadelphia. And at some events in Philadelphia, the protesters are ordered to leave. Based on what I've seen, I've only seen a few demonstrations in Philadelphia. I don't know what's going on with Minneapolis, but if you're not going to get the protesters with the aborted fetus signs, and I have something totally different to say about that, and those anti-queer signs, we're not accepting any more hate, because hate is what we're about to be looking at for the next 4 years. The way I see it, Minneapolis, I don't know about St. Paul, but Minneapolis, this is not. I can't be the one to declare this a rebel city. I can't be the one to declare Minnesota a rebel state. But I can say, fuck no. I can speak for myself. I can say I'm not going to accept it. I can say that I'm going to take up a martial art. So if a bigot comes to me, I'm just going to fuck up their shit. I don't care about being loving and compassionate and all that shit. I haven't from the start, because I know these people know better, and they've had the chances to know better. And as a person who is very self-educated through very many means, because the public school system that I come from is bullshit, I know that there's plenty of access to being able to self-educate, be it the internet, be it the library, be it whatever. You can become a chemist with the things that you can find in the library and on the internet. If I can become a chemist and get a Google degree and a public library degree in physics or some shit, these people can learn how to respect other people, whether or not they agree with it or not. They can learn how emotionally and mentally hurtful it can be to hold those signs and yell those things, and teach children and teenagers that these things are designated wrong, and it can be hurtful to them, it can be hurtful to the people around them. Plenty of queer children, queer teenagers being a very sensitive part in their lives, where things are changing, they don't know what's going on. Of course, many of them don't like it, and it has an effect on how they interact with the other adults in their lives, and it's just a clusterfuck. It's a mess. There's nothing good about it. So I'm saying no. I don't give a shit about being better than anyone else, because that's not true. We're out there holding signs and marching and protesting just like they are, but we're just expressing two radically different points of views. So we're not better than them, because essentially we're doing the same thing. And I am an animal. I'm a mammal. I'm Homo sapien. And I'm going to react the way I want to react. Don't tell me not to be angry. Don't tell me how to feel. Don't tell me not to set a bigot shit on fire, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't give a shit about some crying white feminist or some big yelling white guy saying blah blah blah, we're better than this is going to be all over Fox News. Bitch, fuck you. Let it be all over Fox News. They need to see that we're not going to accept any more of their bullshit. Fuck them. They need to be afraid of us. And yeah, I feel like I mean, there's just so much to say and just not enough time to say it, because I'm sure I've already gone over the normal attention span of any average human being. But if you feel like you need to be armed, or you feel like you need to take basic self-defense or martial arts, if you feel like you can do anything to protect yourself, there's anything that you have to do to protect yourself out there against those fucking clowns, you do it. let's fuck up their shit. We're not taking anymore.